can't picture the guy's face driving the car. Except I just knew he pulled up beside me and he reached over and opened the door and he said, "Get in." I said, "I'm going to get blood all over your car." And he said, "Get in." He just drove me down in front of the doctor's office and let me out. And
Did he say get out?
yeah. And I got out and walked in, and he never got out of the car.
So now you have to tell it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because that was the end.
Well,
Kind of the middle.
I was jumping back fences. We had 4-foot-high picket fences, and the one coming into our yard, I caught my toe and came down on a broken jar, just inside.
How old were you?
I was 13, just almost 13. And my Aunt Mabel was the only one at the house, and she couldn't hear and she couldn't speak. And she just handed me a towel, and I just wrapped it around and went out and stood by the road. And I was standing there bleeding, and this car pulled up. The guy reached over and opened the door and said, "Get in." I said, "I'm going to get blood all over your car." He said, "Get in." And he drove me to the doctor's office and stopped in front and let me out. And he was gone. Never saw him again. And I called him my angel. No one knew who he was, or where he came from, or where he went. But he saved my life.
Wasn't that the only doctor who could have possibly fixed it?
Yes, I found out later. He said, when he started to work on it, he said, "I can't give you any kind of anesthetic because I have to be able to see which tendon goes where. So you have to wiggle your fingers." So that's why first 45 minutes it was pretty painful, but after that it didn't bother me that much. So I watched him do that. He did send his receptionist out to get some gum and gave me 2 sticks of gum to chew while he was working on it. And it was kind of an interesting thing. When he finished, he put a cast on it and sent me home. And I never had any medication for pain or anything. And all we had was aspirin.
Did you ever have a bill? Did you ever get a bill for it? He doesn't remember.
I don't know.
You were telling me this morning, then you went and played in the river with your cast, right?
I did. Everybody, it was summertime, all the kids were swimming, and the Nehalem River ran right behind our house. So I figured I can get in water and hold my arm out and swim, but
Didn't work.
that didn't work. And I went back to the doctor, and he put a new cast on. He said, "If you get this one wet, I'm going to cut your arm off."
Now, when did you find out about the doctor?
I found out later that he graduated at the top of his class in surgery from Harvard Medical School, but he had a drinking problem, and he refused to take the cure. So he took this small logging town as a private practice. Figured a bunch of loggers are not going to care if I'm drunk. But I found out from Dr. Marion Mayo, who was married to one of the Mayo Clinic doctors, that he was probably at that time the only one north of San Francisco who could have put that together in his office like that.
Saved your hand for you.
And
Yeah.
hands work. And he's able to work it.
So
It doesn't have any feeling in some of it, but
Well, it's very limited feeling. Some things I don't feel like.
it drops.
I can't feel that at all like I do with this finger.
Hmm.
But these two fingers, the feeling has mostly come back in them.
Nice.
so
And you can wiggle it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I can do everything with it. That almost everything.
They give you a rubber ball to squeeze.
He did. He gave me a rubber ball to squeeze, and I got to milking cows, which was a good exercise. Later on,
There's physical therapy. Go milk some cows.
Looks like you had Mr. Miyagi.
yeah.
So, Grandpa, do you remember where this was? Like what town it was?
What's that?
Do you remember what town this was?
Town.
Where you got hurt?
Like where you were,
Yes.
where you lived?
What time of day?
What town?
What town
Town.
was it?
Oh, it was Vernonia, Oregon.
Okay.
Small logging town.
Back then, yeah. Loggers. So what year would that be? What year was that?
He was born in
13.
27, so if he was
1940.
1940?
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
about,
Yeah.
about 1940,
About 1940.
maybe
Yeah.
39.
Yeah.
Mhm.